get it right now, but you will in time, son. I promise you that. It's the best thing for the family. No. This is the...
What's up, big glass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and now I'm back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment, and let me know what you're thinking. On today's video, I will be covering a theory that none of my top competitors has ever came out with. Like, they may have touched on this topic, but they never came up with the exact theory that I'm about to give you guys. I'm talking about not Mark Dark, not Getting It How I Live, not MovieBot, not Alejandro Gonzalez, No Label the Label, none of the top dogs that, you know, have all the subscribers and the views and the likes and stuff. And this is no knock at them, but I'm just letting you know this is something that you've never heard before, and I guarantee you that. If you have heard it, then someone must have came up with the same brilliant theory that I've came up with. But I'm pretty certain this is going to be something that you guys have never heard before. But on today's video, I will be covering how Ghost and Tariq colluded together to fake Ghost's death so that they can both get what they want. Now, someone may have touched on that topic, but they're not going to break it down the way I'm going to break it down. I'm positive of that. So, but to my knowledge, no one has even touched on, you know, this particular topic. The way that how Ghost and Tariq both was in on Ghost faking his death. But it's a lot that has to be covered, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is going to be a very long video. I'm sorry. There's no way I can shorten it up to actually be able to break it down and so that you guys could truly understand it. Because the way the writers did it is very good, but it's also kind of complicated and hard to figure out. But after rewatching episodes 10 all the way to 15 on the original Power of season 6, I was able to discover what was going on. And I was like, wow, I actually was kind of blown away with what I noticed. So, it's a couple of things that you guys need to know so that the video can make sense. And I don't know if you guys ever heard this old saying before, but the saying was, there's always 3 sides to the story. Your side, their side, and the truth. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have probably heard that before. But that's the method that the writers used when writing this last season of the original Power. And they did it so good that they made it very complicated that they really just, they confused the hell out of us. And got us looking in all kinds of different directions instead of what's actually going on. Now, they kind of told you, but it went right over our head. They told you that each episode was that particular character's perspective of what happened that day. That part is the truth. However, it's how they were showing you that they didn't quite do it. They did a lot of off-screen things that they didn't reveal and show you so that you would, so that you would still be led astray and not know what's going on. But remember what I said? He said the 3 sides of the story. So I'm going to break it down. Episode 10 is not Ghost's perspective. So I know a lot of y'all thought that and probably still think that. Episode 10 is not Ghost's perspective. Episode 10 is the actual episode. And what I mean is just like all the previous seasons, how they had episodes 1 through 10, except for season 1, it had 8 episodes. But from season 2 all the way to 6, all the way to 5, they had 10 episodes. The same thing is going on here. That wasn't Ghost's perspective. It was just episode 10. So episode 10 is the only gospel episode, meaning it's the only episode that you can see as the truth. The other ones, episode 11 through 15, are all perspectives, meaning that it can be truth, but it's stretched truth. Like it's their version of the truth, which means it could not be 100% accurate. Like I'll give you an example. There could be a fight that broke out between Johnny and Charles. I may see Johnny give Charles a low blow, and that's what gave him the upper hand to win the fight, right? And you may see that no, it was Johnny's left hand hook that that gave him the upper hand. They got that made him start really winning the fight. And both of the things could have possibly happened, but we both saw it differently, right? So neither one of us are necessarily lying, but at the same time, we saw it differently. And then the camera that was there recording the entire fight captured it all. That's the truth. Your side, their side, and the truth. That's the method that they're using. And I need y'all to really pay attention to that. Because that's what's going to really be able to show you what's going on here. And I'm going to do my best to break it down for you guys so that you can understand exactly what I'm saying. But before I really dive into that, I want to address another theory I've been saying it years ago, but I didn't have my channel until this year. So, yeah, I've been noticed that it was some bullshit, and this is no, slight towards this creator or nothing like that. And or when I said at the previous, at the beginning of the video, calling some of the other creators out. They all do great work. So it's not no diss towards them, but I'm just saying they never came up with this. But Alejandro Gonzalez, for any of y'all that follows his channel, he's been pushing this theory that Ghost switched the guns. And that's how he survived what happened. And that is false. And I'm going to prove that because it was the exact same gun. What he did was he showed you guys different angles of the gun. If you look at it at one point, on the side of the gun, it looked like it's an all black gun. And it does, because it doesn't show, by the angles of how they was filming it, it don't show the little silver part at the top of the gun. But it's actually the exact same gun. They're going to show you that, and I'm going to show you 2 clips that's going to debunk that theory that the guns were switched. No, they were the same gun. So take a look at it real quick, and then I'll come back. And it just so me to prove y'all that, show you that it was the same gun. There was no difference in the gun, right? So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the video, and then I'll come back. So as you can see, the metal part of the little silver part that he was saying isn't on the gun is there. It's the same gun. So no, that theory that he's putting out there isn't true. And it's easy to prove and debunk if you know where to look. So I'm going to tell you what actually happened. So what happened is when Tariq went to go meet with Ghost, when he said, "Mama said you wanted to see me" and stuff like that, and then when they had that talk, he told him, "Tell me about Breeze" and all of that, that particular part. So doing it, this was off screen. They didn't show the viewers this. But what happened was Ghost let him know right there that he knew Tariq had that gun up in the club. He had already told him that it's still there. And then he seen it. And he let him know that he switched it out. What he did was he put rubber bullets in there. And then that's when he told Tariq about the plan. You know what I'm saying? That's when he discovered, he was like, look, we both can get what he wants. That's why I put that in the beginning video, the part when he said, if we both work together, we can both get what we want. Right? So, that is what happened with that. So he told him, look, this is the plan. I'll get out of your life. And you know what I'm saying, you can still but you still have to go to school, and I'll hand over all of my, you know what I'm saying, assets and stuff like that I have to you, because I'll be out of the way. So all of my stuff that I have will be passed down to you and Yaz. And so that was the plan. And a lot of y'all probably thinking, no, Glenn, if you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I got some more proof to show you that is what happened. And I'm going to be showing you a lot of concrete proofs throughout all of this. And remember what I said about your side, their side, and the truth. Because I'm going to come back to that. But real quick, I need to show you more proof that Tariq was in on Ghost faking his death. So the proof is you have to go to, now you need to go to book 2 Ghost, the season 1, the season finale. So, as you can remember, Tommy showed up in this episode, right? And he was trying to kill Tasha. So, if you can remember, and I'm going to show you the clip right here, you know, I always got to bring those receipts when I say something. I'm going to show you in the clip where he talked to Tommy. He was telling him that he had a plan for them both to get what they wanted. He got that from Ghost because Ghost told him that for Tommy to fake his death. Where do you think he got that idea from? And y'all still to this day wondering, how did Tommy pull that off? Keep in mind, this was Tariq's plan. So, I have the clips plan where it shows him telling him that he has a plan. It shows where Tommy crashed in the car, and then later on, you know, as you know, it has Tommy and them saying, "So did our little plan work?" Tariq came up with that plan, and he got it from Ghost. So take a look at it, then I'll come back.
Even if I got a plan that'll get us all what we want, no strings attached. You sure?
You got 2 minutes. Go for broke, kid.
Shit.
Fuck me.
Stay here and don't fucking move! Where the hell are you going? Fuck off!
By our little plan. I hate to have pulled out my back molars for nothing.
Yeah, they bought it. As far as the feds are concerned, Tommy Egan has been incinerated.
So, as you can see, Tariq staged a plan for Tommy to fake his death. What do you think an 18-year-old will come up with? There's no 18-year-old coming up with something like that. Especially for someone like him who didn't come from the streets, you know what I'm saying, didn't really have a reason to be even thinking of things like that, or have an idea on how to pull off something like that. He got that idea from Ghost because him and Ghost did it first. And I believe Ghost probably explained to him when he tell him about Breeze, off screen, they talked even more, but they couldn't show all of that because they wanted to keep us, you know what I'm saying, looking in a different direction, because they were very brilliant with how they wrote this. I have to give them Big props of how good they were at writing this. But I believe also when he told him to tell him about Breeze, keep in mind that if you haven't seen my video about Unique as Breeze from on Raising Canaan, from the Raising Canaan series, go and take a look at it. But as you can see, he faked his death. Well, he didn't fake his death. He came back I don't know if he's gonna show that have people believing that he's dead and just keep going around and go as Breeze. He may or may not. Or we could just say Ghost, came up with that theory from Kanan faking his death, and becoming Slim. Either way, from those he got it from one of those two, right? And he told Tariq, we can do the same thing. I'll get out of your way, and you can still get, the life that you want, but you can do it in a different way. That way you won't be having to push drugs. Right? So, pretty much Ghost kind of still finessed him because he forced him to go to school like he wanted. See, Tariq was thinking that he was going to get out of his way and he'd just get the inheritance. That's what he told him. But actually, he was like, nah, nigga, we're going to put a balloon in there that your ass got to go to school and you got to get a 3.5 GPA in order for you to get this inheritance. Come on now. All of that's too coincidental that Ghost have all that prepared. And not, not knowing that, that his life was going to be in danger or that he was going to fake it. Come on. There's no way it's just a coincidence. This man is alive. So for all the people that believe he's dead, you're out of your freaking mind. But anyways. So now I want to get into the theory, my other theory showing you about their side, your side, and the truth. Because keep in mind, I told you episode 10 is the truth. So what you have to do is, what I did was I have episode 10, a clip from episode 10, and a clip from episode 11. This is Dre's perspective, right? And what I'm trying to show you here is that how it's the exact same thing, but the dialogue is different. And it's a reason why the dialogue was different. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all, when y'all first watched this, were like, okay, this is the exact same scene, it's the exact same day, why is the dialogue different? I'm going to tell you why. But first, take a look at the clip, and then I'll come back and I'll break it down.
That's it. That's what you are. You's a wannabe gangster. A fucking wannabe. You had all the potential, Dre, but at the end of the day, you ain't got the shit to make it work. Man, fuck you! Yeah, fuck me. But you need me, Dre. Like you always do. So I'ma save you. Like the helpless little bitch you are. I'm disappointed in you, Dre. You had all the potential in the world, but at the end of the day, you just a wannabe gangster. You lie, you snitch, sell anybody the fuck out to get what you want. I learned from the best. I'll save you, little bitch ass, like I always do. Nigga,
Now, as you can see, it's pretty much the same thing, just two different perspectives. Keep in mind, episode 10 is the truth. Episode 11 is Dre's stretched out truth. Keep in mind, I told you, they all been interrogated. So this is Dre when he was in the interrogation room, and they was asking him what happened during that day. And he's telling his version of it. So as you can see, on the original one, which is the truth, Ghost had a lot more swagger about the things he was saying. Like he really leaned into that, like the hippest little bitch you are. You know what I'm saying? He had swag on that shit. But on episode 11, Dre had it had him all dry and shit, talking about some. So I'm gonna say you a little bitch ass, like I always do. You know what I'm saying? The acting was dry, and you probably was wondering, like, bruh, why them niggas, why is they so off? And it's not just this episode. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way with give you another quick example. Like on Tommy's episode, right? Episode 13, when Ghost was doing his little part, um, when they both met up before the shooting started, with when Cedric the Entertainer showed up and them trying to shoot him. His on episode 10, the acting was stellar, but on 13, Ghost's was a little off, right? And then here's another quick example. Going back to episode 13, but I'm gonna say episode 14. So, the same scene. If you remember, Tommy's acting looked quick and sloppy on 14. Why? Because it wasn't Tommy's episode, right? It wasn't his perspective. This was Councilman Tate telling what happened. And a lot of you may say, oh, how do Councilman Tate know what happened? He wasn't there. He doesn't. But he did get a somewhat version of what happened from Cedric the Entertainer's son that survived. Remember when he talked to him outside of the house? He was like, that white boy came blasting. He told Tate what happened. So that's where he got that from. So since Tate didn't actually see it and he wasn't there, he gave the dry version of what happened. So you're starting to see what's happening. Y'all starting to, connect the dots. So, and also I'm going to show one more clip, right? Giving y'all an example of what I mean by the your side, their side, and the truth. So on this next clip, it's going to be episode 10 and episode 15. And oh yeah, just throwing it out there, letting you know, episode 15 is Tasha's perspective. Not Tariq, but Tasha's perspective. And I'm going to prove it, but first take a look at the clips real quick, and then I'll come back and react to it and to break it down how it's Tasha's perspective. Take a look.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I figured it out, Tosh. I sent you out there. All of a sudden, Lakeisha's dead. Lakeisha Grant. I didn't tell you to do that, did I? Now you got a major problem. So you got to stay out of my way. Because I swear to God, Tasha, nothing is going to stop me.
Now, so you saw the two clips, right? And as you can see, Tasha's perspective, which is episode 15, is totally different from what actually happened, which is episode 10. Now, this is, like I said, Tariq, what happened is in the interrogation room, Tasha made a deal, made a deal with Sachs and them, right? But she asked that she had to be given full immunity for her testimony that she's getting ready to give. She was doing that to protect her and Tariq so that nothing could happen, right? So she pretty much told what happened, but she had immunity. So when she told, them that it was Tariq, they couldn't touch him because he had immunity. So pretty much that was admissible. Like, they couldn't use it once it was told that Tariq did it. Because, Tasha was in full mom mode. She was like, yeah, I can't I got to make sure I protect him at all cost. But she didn't tell Tariq that she did this. But yeah, Tasha pretty much gave her version of what happened. Now, like I said, the two clips, right, that you just saw, in the real scene, Ghost was very calm and collective, right? He wasn't doing all that damn yelling and screaming and shit like that that Tasha telling her version of it made it seem out to be. That's the reason why the scenes are different here. Ashley Ghost was calm. He was telling them what they need to do to have to, take care of Tariq. And Tasha didn't agree with it, obviously. But, when she told it, she had him this monster that was yelling and screaming, telling her, oh, if you don't do it my way, I'm going to, threatening her and all that. He didn't do any of that in the real thing. But women tend to exaggerate on things. Like, we know this. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, a woman you can be getting all in your face. You know how certain women love to talk noise, talking about how they can beat up a man and all that, knowing good damn well they can't. They gonna play the victim as soon as you hit them. But let's just say, they can get in your face, hit you and stuff like that, and you can just shove them, and they fall to the ground, right? That'll be what really happened. But they can call the police, and their version of it is, yeah, he put his hands on me, he threw me all across the wall, he pushed my head to the wall, slamming. All kinds of exaggerated bullshit that women tend to do when they're in their feelings. That's what Tasha did here. So that's the reason why those things are totally different. This is Tasha's version of the truth. But, you know what I'm saying? Episode 10 is the gospel. Same way with the scene where Tariq went to go talk to Ghost. What really happened was episode 10. Tasha's version of it was episode 15. So what really happened is Ghost wasn't drunk. He talked to Tariq very calm. Matter of fact, he even alluded and said that you're trying to get me angry, son, but I don't have no more room to be angered. Only more disappointment. Remember he said that to him? So Ghost wasn't angry. But in episode 15, he was drunk, angry. He put hands on Tariq, telling him if you don't do what he's going to do, you're going to force his hand, all kinds of shit, right? So that was Tasha's side of the truth, because all Tasha had to rely on, because if you can remember, shortly after that, Tariq went to go see his mom, and they spoke. So Tasha gave her exaggerated version of the truth. So yeah, that's pretty much breaking down what is going on in these episodes. Ghost is alive, and the reason why you keep seeing all these different versions of it on season 6 is because they're all telling their own version of what happened. But also, I just want to give you a little bit more proof on letting you know that this is what happened. So, another proof of it, if you can remember, on episode 13, right? Episode 13, when Tommy went to go see Ghost, right? And he had been shot. It was no blood on the floor on episode 13. Episode 13 was what actually happened too. Keep in mind, of all the, I didn't say this, but of all the people that gave they showed it, episode 13 is also the gospel. Because it was what Tommy was doing his time. Tommy was the only one of all of them that didn't get interrogated. It was just showing you what Tommy did that episode. So Tommy's episode was kind of like, just a normal episode too. But anyways, that's the reason why on 13 there's no blood on the floor. but episode 15 there was. The reason for this is because Tasha didn't see when the ghost actually got shot. She came in afterwards, and she just gave her version of it, of what she think happened. Keep it so pretty much on a lot of it with 15. Tasha was just given what she think happened, but she wasn't for sure, or she was just given an exaggerated truth to what happened. But anyways, real quick, I'm going to show the little clip showing you the difference between the blood and the no blood, and then come back and react to it. And I know this video getting long, but I'm getting ready to wrap it up. As you can see, I'm connecting all the dots. So real quick, take a look at it, and we'll come back. Now, as you can see, the first one is episode 13. Ghost is on the ground. And keep in mind, like I told you, 13 is also truthful. Episode 13 is also one of those episodes that's just like 10, that it's what actually happened. Because Tommy didn't go, Tommy never told his story. Because, you know, Tommy's not talking to no cops anyway. And plus, Tommy got out of town like very shortly after the, Ghost was shot and supposedly killed at the club. So they showed you what really happened with him, like what was he doing that day. And that's the reason why there was no blood on the floor when they showed Tommy's perspective on episode 13. But on Tasha's exaggerated perspective, there's blood all on the ground because she didn't really see it. Like I said, I don't believe Ghost actually fell over that stairway. I don't think it happened. Perhaps maybe Tariq fired the shot while he was on the ground or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I can't say 100% sure that he didn't fall over. I mean, perhaps he did. Maybe that did happen. I don't know. But the point is, there was no blood on that. There was no blood on the ground. That was just something Tasha probably was saying. She was like, yeah, there's blood all on the ground and stuff, and he's lying there, you know. She probably, you know, just was a little extra with it, and that's not what actually happened. Her side, their side, the truth. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for y'all and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Breaking down. I know, like I said, I know it's a long video. And then my apologies for the length of the video. But, as you can see, I needed to show all of this so that it can make sense and I can break it down. But yeah, so these were all stories being told by each character on their particular perspective of what had happened, how it happened. And the only ones who really know the full truth is Ghost and Tariq, who are the masterminds behind the whole scheme. They both plotted this. The only difference is Ghost got what he wanted, and Tariq kind of got conditions to get what he wanted. But they're going to reveal, all of that next season. It may not happen exactly the way I said it, but I guarantee you it's in the nature of what I'm saying. Because it makes sense, the reason why the scenes are different. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. So, like usual, if you're cool with me, fool with me, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a like, comment, and let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure your ugly ass share it with your ugly ass friends. But until the next video, people, I am out.